Wells unbeaten 175 steers Lancashire to unlikely victory. We're set for a fascinating final day at Edgbaston. Warwickshire are favourites heading into day 4. Alex Davis 121 helped them set Lancashire 329 to win. An imposing target, but not necessarily one out of reach for the visitors. Would they go for it, or was a draw their best hope? Wells and Jennings' approach was patient in the opening stages, but they couldn't avoid the damage. Hannon Dalby with the early wicket, Jennings caught behind for 6, just the breakthrough the Bears had been after. But Hannon couldn't get off the mark. Hannon Dalby found his pads, and the number 3 departed LBW. Wells and Croft dipped the required runs below 300, the score moving beyond 50. But Croft fell to Brooks, an expansive drive aimed at the outswinger, edge taken, and Lancashire were now 3 down. In came Dane Villas, the captain, determined and resolute in his approach. He had other ideas. Early boundaries a cause for concern for the Bears. Wells 2 in fine fettle. The score up to 87 for 3 at lunch. The target now just 242 more runs away. Even if Villas still wanted to try and chase the total, he'd be unable to get much further after tea. Wells punched one down the ground, Norwell got a finger to it, and the captain was run out at the non-striker's end. Wells remained, and with a Brooks short ball lashed through the leg side, he moved to 50 off 131 balls. A good start, but there was plenty more to do for the Lancashire opener. He and Croft were doing well together. Warwickshire held off, the fielding a little flat now, the score ticking along at a decent rate. The 5th wicket worth 50 off 116 balls. If they could make it to tea, a final session dash to the line was certainly still on the cards for the visitors. And that's exactly what they did. The Lancashire 5th wicket pair stuck in all the way to the break, and suddenly the game had opened up. The score 167 for 4, 161 more needed when they returned to the middle. Game on after tea. Wells just as composed as before the break, and up to 100 off 205 balls early in the final session. His 15th 4 took him to the mark. The partnership soon matched it. The 5th wicket worth 100 when Wells added yet another boundary. It felt like the tide had turned. After putting on 90 in the first innings, Jones was closing in on 50, and they were making the chase look easy. Wells slammed Brooks over the leg side as if to emphasise that point, and then watched on from the non-striker's end as with a sweep to Briggs for 4, Jones went to his half-century, scored off 115 balls. The target was soon below 100, 5 and over needed, but that was well within the capabilities of Wells and Jones on this showing. There was 74 more required when Jones tried to chip 6 off the target, only to fire a catch to Davis in the deep off the bowling of Hannon Dalby, out for a well-made 66. The closing stages were getting nervy, both sides battling for the win, and Wells went to 150 with 2 quick runs, up to the mark off 261 balls, and if Lancashire were to be successful in this chase, he would probably have to go the distance. Balderson was playing his part too, and with a towering 6 off the bowling of Hannon Dalby, he'd taken Lancashire to 300, just 29 more required. With another Wells 4, the 6th wicket was worth 50. They were now romping their way towards victory. Needing just 4 more to win, Balderson fell, tamely chipping a catch to Rose off the bowling of Briggs. Neither Lamb nor Wells needed to use the bat to seal the win. 2 no balls in quick succession from Brooks ticked Lancashire over the finishing line, and despite the manner in which they'd achieved their success, it was a stunning victory. The expectation had been that Lancashire were on their back foot heading into the final day at Edgbaston, but they'd made a mockery of their critics, and Wells had produced a quite sensational innings to do so. Warwickshire will be bitterly disappointed. The champions had been almost faultless, a hard-fought game going the way of the visitors when it easily could have resulted in a Bears win. Both sides will be back in action when the LV County Championship resumes in 2 weeks' time. The Sayat Unique Stadium in Bristol is the destination for Lancashire. A short hop to Northamptonshire next on the agenda for Warwickshire.